A few years ago, the Democratic Socialists of America, this is a scrappy little movement with big ideas and an energized base. But this is a political wing in the Democratic Party. It supports Medicare for all, free higher education for all, free health care for all, universal amnesty. It wants to abolish the Electoral College and the U.S. Senate, replace the independent presidency and the Supreme Court, move all funding from police, and instead use that for community services, and of course have public ownership of all large corporations, industries, and utilities. It was a far-left wing that had momentum, absolutely, but it needed an establishment nod to go mainstream. And that's where the early adopters stepped in. Leaders like Governor Kathy Hochul of New York and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez looked around, they saw the energy in the room, and they thought, we need that juice. When Zohran Mamdani started his ascent to the mayor's office in 2025, it was exactly what that movement needed. Hochul and AOC weren't just tolerating him, they were amplifying him. They embraced Mamdani because his base was loud, was organized, politically essential.
It's just a nice breath of fresh air. It feels like a changing of the guard for real this time.
I believe that he is going to he's already gathering a team of super experts who can make that dream happen.
I think his policies are great. He's energetic. He's not afraid to stand up to the system and the president.
Well, that early acceptance gave the DSA the one thing money can't buy: legitimacy. Suddenly, socialist wasn't a fringe label. It was the shiny new engine driving the Democratic Party's youth vote. But power changes everything. The movement didn't just want a seat at the table. They wanted to build a new table. The DSA's platform isn't about incremental tweaks. It is about systemic overhaul. And suddenly, the establishment Democrats who opened the door realized that the guests are there rearranging the furniture. And now we look at the 2026 landscape. We are watching a master class in political hedging. The same leaders who legitimized the DSA are suddenly hitting the brakes, sensing this movement might pull the party too far to the left for comfort.
You running against a DSA candidate,
correct?
And you are a conventional Democrat. When we say that,
I would call myself. What I tell people is, if this was 20 years ago, I would be considered progressive.
Okay.
But now it's so far left that people consider me moderate. You know, I think that I'm a Democrat. I don't acquiesce to those sayings, but I'm a Democrat. I would what you would call a moderate Democrat.
Well, that's Marlon Rice running for a New York State Senate in a district dominated by the AOCs and Mamdanis of the world. And that brings us to the current primary season, the split-screen reality of the Democratic Party today. AOC, once the undisputed champion of the insurgent left, is starting to look kind of tame compared to New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani. The it man of the Democrat Party is backing other Democrat socialist candidates, like Daria-Liza Avila-Chevalier. She is likely to unseat the head of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus, a 5-term Democrat, Adriano Espaillat, and she is as radical as they come.
Who is the terrorist? Who is the terrorist? The United States of America. We feel the Palestinian blood. We feel the Palestinian blood. And we stand in solidarity with Palestine. We have the historic responsibility. We have the historic responsibility of defeating Israel colonialism. Israel colonialism. And U.S. imperialism.
So while she's screaming down there, AOC is huddling close to that Mamdani flame while also trying not to get burned. And Mamdani is trying to shove out the Democrat incumbents. It is a classic political paradox. Establishment Democrats legitimize the socialist wing to capture its energy, only to find themselves outflanked by the very movement they nurtured.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.